all together as one. It's actually amazing. And so, Michelle, can you tell us about how important that is to what you're trying to achieve to impact people in this regard, and also the work that you do with Halberg? Can you dive into that, and then how you can now take that and really put it out globally?
Do you know what if I could have a wish for CoachMate, one thing that would happen across all coaches around the world, it would be that their very first thought before anything else is, how do I make sure every kid in my team feels like they belong and
Hmm.
come back next year? That's it, job done. Number two, how do we help them develop more skills and win a game and do well in this season? But number one, if that could be the very first thought, everything changes. So, I think about, and I'll come back to Halberg. I think that's really important. But I think about sometimes I've observed a lot of young girls playing, and I think about how important that network is, to Lee's point, for those girls to have a group of friends outside of school when things get pretty tough and their confidence is pretty knocked around at 13 and 14. And we see a drop-off rate for girls between 2 and 6 times that of boys in that age group. It's terrible. The stats are terrible. And that group of girls, if you think about a coach thinking, God, actually, I'm not here to coach football, cricket, volleyball, water polo, swimming. I'm actually here to make sure these girls come back next year, number one. And everything changes. Who you sub, you don't sub the same 3 kids every half when you want every one of those kids to feel like they belong. You let them have 10 minutes of catch-up time and chat and bonding before you get straight into practice. You make sure their uniforms, ideally work with the club to make sure their uniforms feel comfortable and they have confidence, because 68% of girls will not participate in sport at that age if they feel like their confidence can be challenged. So we have a much bigger job as a community to help everyone feel like they belong in sports. And if we can do that, then lives change and communities change. You can see we're super passionate.